especially with regards to the pool, much of what was given were just estimates that were not with any sort of specifics. And I would like to, I guess, put forward to the board the idea of putting forth an actual motion to actually do an actual analysis on the actual costs for commons and for the pool. How much are HVACs? How much is furniture? How much is maintenance for either choice? Because what we have right now are just numbers, but they are not really specific. Especially, we've had so many months to do this and we haven't done this analysis. And for something that is so integral to our community, we should actually do the full analysis. And I'll just say second, I also agree that we should be looking at busing and providing as much busing to the community as possible. And so we should be doing full analyses and then presenting these to the community.
Thank you. Regarding that request, I will refer that to the Finance Committee for further discussion during their August committee meeting. Thank you. Board Member Wittleder.
Mr. Board President, I'd like to recognize, I'd like to be recognized for purposes of making a motion. And I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution. As board members, we have been trained to uphold...
Oh, sorry. Please read the resolution.
Pardon?
Please go ahead and read the resolution.
Oh, thank you. As board members, we have been trained to uphold the code of ethics, and as a self-governing body, it is the expectation that we hold one another accountable for being faithful, honest, and for doing the right thing. When we unilaterally make decisions that are in contradiction to our code of ethics, we put the board at risk, our district at risk, and our students and faculty at risk. I believe that we have violated this code.
Whereas, President, I'm sorry, as far as the resolution that was discussed and just introduced, any resolutions do require first and second. Secondly, however, though, that is something that I would advise the board, similar to the same justification I gave before with respect to the transportation and the policy. If there is any concern or if there's any thought as to any suspected violations, that should be sent to our office. At a minimum, it should be notified, sent to the board president or the superintendent so that it can be forwarded to our office so that we can investigate on behalf of the Board of Education before any public comments are made with respect to any alleged violations. And so that would be my recommendation, is that the motion is not entertained and that this is instead sent to our office for investigation. Thanks.
What happens if I read this resolution into record? Could you please explain that?
Sure. Just as all board members, have a responsibility to ensure that they are always reporting accurate information. Also keep in mind that the statements that you make have the potential to compromise the Board of Education by subjecting it to liability. So I am recommending that, and you also have an obligation to refer all matters that may warrant an investigation for any suspected noncompliance to administration for investigation. So there are several steps and instances that should be taken first before any kind of public statements are made that can open up the district to liability and compromise the board.
Well, I would like to read it into record.
That's fine, as long as you acknowledge that I've counseled you and now you are essentially taking your own private action.
Okay. Whereas on Monday, June 27th, 2022, during the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education meeting, board member Dr. Kwawi Telesford took independent action and presented confidential and non-public information that was not approved for public disclosure. Whereas Dr. Telesford shared confidential blueprints and floor plan information of Columbia High School with the public during his
Mr. Board
Point of order, I'd like to make a motion to move to adjourn to executive session.
Point of order,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Burnside, please call the roll to adjourn to executive session. Thank you.
I motion to amend the motion, and I'd like to finish this resolution.
I've made a motion to adjourn to executive session as the board president presiding over this meeting, Mr. Burnside, and it has been seconded. Mr. Burnside, please call the roll on adjourning to executive session. Thank you.